Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Yes, I'm loving the energy in the room. Clap it up for yourselves, please. Are you ready to see this wonderful film?
Yes.
Are you ready to see this wonderful film?
Yes.
Endless Echoes Within, okay? And it's not just your average documentary, okay? You got that? All right. Endless Echoes Within is a short auto ethnographic film that delves into the unspoken yet viscerally felt truth of the formerly incarcerated visual artist Sherrick Enriquez and his intricate journey towards freedom and artistic expression.
Hey.
Amen. Created by Enriquez in collaboration with the dancer and filmmaker Himerria Wortham.
All right.
Clap it up every time I say a name, please. And filmmaker Eliyas Hamid, another name. The film emerged from a 12-week experimental process in which the artist explored storytelling through improvised embodiment practices. Viewers will witness how movement becomes a potent catalyst for expressing complex emotion. The artist will premiere the film and for the first time discuss their filmmaking process with us right here. Clap it up for that. Now, as I introduce the creators of this film, you know, when we finish it off, we want to give them a warm welcome and clap it up, like the best welcome ever, okay? All right, Sherrick Enriquez, clap it up. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Is a visual artist from Belize City, Belize, who was raised in Los Angeles, California. His artwork is deeply influenced by his multicultural background, started from his experience in Belize City and further shaped by the diverse culture of Los Angeles. Enriquez currently serves as the artist in residence for a New Way of Life reentry project in the Los Angeles County Justice Care and Opportunities Department. Through his work, he champions the mission of art, becoming a beacon of hope and transformation. Himerria Wortham is an interdisciplinary artist who was born and raised in Berlin, Germany, and later moved to Detroit before settling in Los Angeles. Her artistic practice delves into critical examinations of social and cultural issues, working across the realms of dance and experimental film informed in ethnographic and sensory cinematic practices. Experimentation plays a crucial role in her creative process as she weaves together stories that are visceral, deeply personal, and universally resonant. All right. You ready, my brother? Yes, sir. Eliyas Hamid is a multidisciplinary artist and filmmaker from Los Angeles, California, blending storytelling, creative directing with musical inspiration. He creates innovative works that will challenge and inspire. He crafts imaginative and impactful content that can resonate with diverse audiences while also staying true to his roots and vision. Now, before we start this wonderful film that I've seen for myself, you know, that I fell in love with, and I'll be able to watch it over and over and over again, I'm going to turn it over to the creatives so you can speak on the film before we premiere it.
All right. Thank you so much for that. That was beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
So much energy. Yeah. Thank you for giving that to us.
I'm here for you guys.
So my name is Himerria, and I am the director and producer of the film. I made the film for my thesis project. I'm in school for visual anthropology. I'm getting my master's in that. And so something that was really important for me was to make, not only just make a film, but really get to the heart of stories of people who are impacted by the justice system. And I'm so grateful that I met this wonderful human right here, Sherrick, who is so generous with his story and his heart and his movement and his art. So I'm so blessed that I got to have this experience with him. And I hope you really enjoy it, because everything that you see in a couple of minutes was done all step by step through experimentation. So from one moment to the next, we were like, what does this feel like? Let's translate this into an image. Nothing was scripted. So get ready for the unscripted roller coaster And yeah, I'm gonna give it over to you.
Hi, I'm Sherrick. I think you said everything, to be honest, but I just want everyone that, get to see the film the message I would say is most important to me right now is just accepting the fact that, it's okay to be special or different or unique. So that's all I want to say.
Hi, y'all. Hi, everybody. How you doing? My name is Eliyas. So I was brought in as the creative director as well as the DP for the film. So I think what a big part of the role that I played is kind of just bringing this story all together and just trying my best to work with Himerria and Sherrick to make it as creative as possible. So I just want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
One more time. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
This is the premiere from Endless Echoes Within. Let's go. Did you enjoy the film?
Yes.
Endless Echoes Within. I loved it. So we're gonna get into the Q&A part. I think our time is limited, so I'm gonna keep it very short, and then we're gonna turn it over to the audience as well. Okay, so this first question is for you, and every time I say a name, please clap it up for them. This first question is for you, Himerria. I like that. See, you guys, I like that. What was it like coming together with everyone to create this masterpiece? What was that journey like?
What was the journey like? I mean, it felt like an epic tale of adventure. An adventurous tale. Because without going too long around the bushes, right? In 2019, I had the opportunity to work at California Institute for Women, doing dance with a group of, I think, about 30 women. And I had my first taste of sharing stories, this give and take between the women and I. And that kind of sparked the this journey, right? And also, because we have Miss Burton in the audience today, that's where I also got your book. And I was like, oh, who's this wonderful human? And I read it and I was like, this is great. And that was 2019. And then I went to school during the pandemic and I was like, I think I need to continue on this journey. I think I can't shake the experience that I had. I can't shake wanting to continue to connect with humans and find a way to get the latent stories that are within our bodies out, because I think we all can benefit from hearing each other's stories. And so through a lot of winding turns, I ended up at Another Way of Life and found out that Miss Burton was the director or the founder of the organization. And I was like, what? That's crazy. And then we met each other by chance in the office when I was introducing this program that I wanted to do at the organization. This time introducing a film in addition to the dance. So adding the aspect of making these stories long-lasting. So they're not stories that are only shared in the moment, but they can really travel. They can get disseminated beyond the walls, internationally. That's my dream, like for these stories to get international eyes on them. And he was in the office and he was like, yeah, I got some ideas for you. And I was like, oh, I'm listening. And then once I left the office, I kept on remembering, that guy, he's an artist. He'd be perfect for this. And I reached out and asked to see if he was interested. We had a meeting, and he seemed excited about it. And we went on this journey of just like, okay, you're not a dancer, but I'm a dancer. I'm going to share something with you, and please trust that this is going to be cool. And he was so open. Like, I feel like sharing dance with non-dancers is typically a little scary because people have these preconceived notions about dance and performance. They think that you have to look like a ballerina or this crazy crumper or some the images that we see online and in the music videos and on stages, but dance is something that's a part of all of our experience, right? Just like music, it's just who we are, and it is also we found out that it was a great starting point for conversations. So we worked on a couple of experimental improv dance exercises that were there to basically start a conversation. Mm-hmm. So you don't ask somebody, what's your story? Right. Straight up. You have to get to know them. You have to build trust. And you also, sometimes if somebody asks me, yeah, what's your favorite thing? I'm like, I don't know right off the bat. I need to figure it out. And dance or these exercises were there for that, for trying something, and then when you hit a wall, you're like, well, what is that really about? And then those questions is where, or those hitting the walls are where we really found answers as a group too. And so it was also really special to have Eliyas, who's his longtime friend on the project, because I think that was nice that you knew him for so many years and offered also translation for me in moments where I was like, what's going on? I don't know this person yet. And so it was this beautiful symphony of art making with people that we just didn't know yet. So that's it.
And by the way, from Berlin, moved to Detroit, and they came to Los Angeles. So, she's a part of many cultures and seen so many things. We appreciate you for that as well. I want to turn this question over to Eliyas, because she touched on this a little bit. So, I just wanted you to pick it up for me. So what was it like connecting, both of them together and coming together and creating this project as well?
So at first, honestly, I think for me, I was going into it thinking like, wasn't really too sure the direction of the project we were going into. And once we kind of got to the beginning phases of between Himerria and Sherrick, and we were actually in the studio and we were working on these exercises. Through these exercises and through these like questions and answers that we were coming up with, it became more clear. And actually too, it's pretty cool. Like a lot of these shots that you guys seen, that everybody's seeing, like these were actually conversations that we had that we put and we turned them into like physical moments. So so being the conduit between Himerria and Sherrick was, it's a blessing for sure. But because Sherrick is like one of my best friends, I think I had a clear idea of his story and how we wanted to tell it through this lens, essentially.
And I appreciate that one part when you guys were in the car together, because it reminded me and my best friend just sitting in the car, just going through some things. Yeah. Now, this next question is for you, Mr. Sherrick. All right, we know that this is a very vulnerable thing for you right now, and I just want to commend you. Can we clap it up for him, please? Because a lot of people can't do what you did, and is to share your story and to paint your picture through this film, right? What was that journey like for you? And like, did it get you back to a place that you did not want to be?
Yeah, I think when we first started the project and we, all agreed to move forward with the idea that we had, it was hard at first, just, trying to find a way to allow myself to feel free. I think ultimately that was the goal, for me. Like, I wanted to feel free. I was like, how can I, create these movements? Like, what does that look like? And in the process of trying to connect with the movement, like I was comfortable making, I would say, it felt, like routine in a way. Like the scene where I was doing the push-ups and I put the pictures on the wall and it spelled out hope. That was a moment that I had to relive, because when I was in the hole, my pictures was all I had. That's what I did. I spelled the word hope out in my cell. And that was pretty much like the only life that was in the cell, besides myself. I'm sorry, it's like before the film started, I kept sitting there and I was like, just, kind of keep it together. But I knew that it was going to be emotional for me because just having to accept the fact that I'm finally getting some sort of closure, I would say. The film definitely helped. Like, it put, like, the icing on the cake because just, like I say, when we started the project and Himerria kept coming with the exercises and the improv, like, hey, try this. And I'm like, hey, this is not working. It's not my thing. I feel kind of weird. I remember going home and I kept asking myself, like, why is it so hard for me to do that? So the real question was like, okay, what am I running from? And every time, we seemed to meet up, it wasn't like nothing was scripted. It was like, okay, so what are we doing here? And I'm like, oh, this is A New Way of Life's, headquarters. And this is where I finally, felt free when I got out. While I was housed at Amity, I was doing 2 years there. I had the opportunity to work with Ms. Susan Burton and A New Way of Life. And it wasn't a job for me. It didn't feel like work. It felt like I was going there to get help. And it worked. And I wanted to create in that space because I told Eliyas and Himerria, if you guys take me back, I will find a way to make it work. And I think the movement that you guys saw was, it came natural. It was a no-brainer. It was like, this is what I see, this is what I feel, and this is how, looking back, I'm going to be able to process where I'm at now, because it's hard accepting, like, where I'm at now. And, I haven't been home for like a year, so, yeah, that's it.
So this question is also for you, and it's going to be for everyone as well. There was a part where you said, I knew my art had a destination. Every time I sent out my art, I knew my art had a destination, right? Yeah. So a lot of artists and creatives can relate to this because a lot of artists and creatives, they want to put out their work, but sometimes they don't know where it's going to go. So as an artist, was there ever a time any of you had a creative idea where you faced adversity and you got a block in the road, right? How did you get over that block, right, to get to your destination?
I can go first. I kind of life, man, life. You living through it. I think life is such a beautiful thing, especially because like when you hit a roadblock through life, I feel like you can kind of breathe through new experiences. You know what I mean? It can kind of bring you out of that. So and the funny thing is too, I feel like we hit a couple roadblocks when making this, all three of us, a lot of different roadblocks, but it was, I think it was a mix, for me, it was a mix between the message we were trying to send and as well as like making something that looks beautiful too. We didn't want to, as you guys can see, we didn't want to put aesthetic to the side at all when making this. So I think a mixture of both things. Yeah, it's just going through with the process. Sometimes when it comes to hitting roadblocks, there's no like shortcut you could say. You got to go right through it, and on the opposite end is where you'll find your destination for that.
So right now we're going to open. We only have so I'm going to open it up to the audience. If anyone had any Q&As or questions to ask, so we can. Who's first? Okay.
I want to thank all three of you, and especially Sherrick for being willing to tell your story, which is actually reliving your story for a lot of people. And being incarcerated doesn't matter where Sherrick was incarcerated. It's just that incarceration diminishes one's value and one's self-esteem and makes you feel very small. And you were blessed to see the good in you and what you could do with your gift of art. You came home and you received the recognition you said that you wanted, right? So now that you have come to understand that you deserve that recognition, are you free every day?
We meet again. That's a great question. So I had my first birthday about a week ago, and I knew, you know, everyone would kind of like check for me, and the attention I knew I was getting ready to get, I was running from, if I'm being honest. I didn't know how to answer the phone. My brother kept calling me. Everyone was just kind of like, you know, what's going on? And for the first time, I think I realized what I was running from. You know, I paroled and was able to secure 2 jobs, and it was like, oh, I'm doing the right thing, and everything felt so good. I was so grateful, right? But in the process of me like trying to get to know myself again and feeling free, it's like I realized no matter how much you could prepare for freedom while being incarcerated, like you can't, you know. No one knows what it looks like. I didn't know it would look like this, but I learned a week ago that it's okay to accept what it looked like. It is. And yeah, thanks to my girlfriend, she was able to like help me realize that. So I think that's how I want to answer that question.
Yes, my question is for Sherrick.
Yes.
Just to put you at ease, I'd just like to know, out of curiosity, the painting that you were drawing in the film, did you complete that?
Which one?
The one that you were actually drawing with the circle.
Yeah, with the key. Yeah, so that painting is like, it's done, but I have to add like probably like one last thing to it.
Right.
The reason I, you know, as much as I wanted to, it was like I couldn't find like a reason. Like, I don't know, it was weird. I was like, okay, why do I feel like I'm forcing myself to finish this and my story is not finished? So yeah, I wanted to just focus on the paintings, and I have paintings like all over the museum right now, and it's a specific painting that you know, means the world to me. It's a painting of my sister. She's smelling a rose, and it's weird. Like, someone gave me a little pin with her picture on there, you know, that they wore at the funeral. And I keep hiding it from myself, but it keep popping up for some reason, you know. And every time it pop up, I'm just like, dude, what's going on? I keep dreaming about my sister. And I can't see her face for some reason. And after I painted the picture, I had a moment where, you know, it speaks life to me. Like, yeah, I think that's a part of the reason why I chose to show some of the art that I brought today, because I feel like it all kind of like ties into, you know, just identifying yourself. I chose to do the painting of Nipsey that's in the room across the hall, because he said something where he said, the best teacher in life is your own experience. And I know it seems kind of corny, but I think like corny get the job done sometimes. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking too much.
Really quick, can I add a note to that question really quick? I just want to say, so for that, we talked a lot about the painting not being finished towards the end, and it really has a lot of significance towards the process and Sherrick's process too. Reason being is because you don't see the end of the painting, because, you know, Sherrick's story this isn't the end.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we kind of, it was like a big reason behind that, yeah.
Yeah, we called it the work in progress.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because we're all works in progress.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it was definitely done a certain way. So we're not like ending it to where it's like, okay, the painting's finished. Like that's the close of it. You know, we didn't really want to have a close on it, because it's to be continued for sure.
We have one more?
In the film, Sherrick, you mentioned that, so thank you both for the film. And then, of course, thank you. In the film, you talk about early on hiding your skill. I know some of my problems started early on, and I had to go back and unwrap it and heal it in order to achieve what I was trying to achieve today. So, you know me. What was that about? Hiding your gift that you were born with into the world. What was that about? You don't have to give me the whole answer, but I need you to know, what was that about?
I just remember when I first started drawing, I just wanted to create, and it was never for no one else but myself. The only time people knew I was good enough to, be an artist was like when I had projects and stuff, and they get to see what I could do. Other than that, like, I would draw and just hide it from myself. I think prison helped me identify a lot about myself. I got to look at life itself from like a third eyes perspective. And it's just something I always enjoyed doing. I think, I accepted the fact that I guess like maybe I could give back in a way, and that's how. I can't believe like you asked that question. This is So yeah, it's just interesting because you gave me a chance. When I met Miss Burton, this is how my art journey started. She wanted to help me, and for some reason I just remember thinking like, who is this crazy old lady that just keep offering to help? And it's funny, I did a VR when I was still at Amity, and there's a scene in the movie where I ended up at the beach, and I remember telling her like I wanted to go to the beach. That's all I ever wanted when I was in prison. I felt like the beach is the edge of the world, and the blue, like I could connect. And she made that happen for me. Not only that, but gave me a job. Just wanted to help. And I just kept asking why, and that forced me to get on the bus every day. Me and Ness used to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to ride the bus for 2 hours just to get to work, and then have to go back because we were on an ankle monitor, and it was crazy. It's like, why am I doing this to myself? But I felt safe. I felt safe, and for the first time, I felt like I wanted to just like kind of let it out. And I gifted Miss Burton a portrait of herself that I drew. And she bought me some paint and was like, hey, you need to start painting. And the rest is history. Just trying to give back. Just trying to, get people to understand that I guess I have a heart, and I'm not this person they like painted me to be. I had so many questions about myself, but I guess like this film for real, like it helped me, get to a point where I could say like it's okay to be vulnerable, to vent, to let it out, to know that other people have problems too. Like it's okay. So yeah, I don't want to drag, but yeah.
I just want to thank Together We Thrive for allowing these 3 wonderful and talented creatives to premiere their film, Echoes, Endless Echoes Within. Now, I just want to give a major shout out to Himerria, to Sherrick and Eliyas. Thank you for telling Sherrick's story through his journey and painting this picture. Keep up the great work, and I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more from you guys as well. And I want to thank the crowd as well for being here. Clap it up for yourself.